Let me talk about, since our words are seeds, let me talk about the laws of sowing and reaping. So if every time you open your mouth, a seed comes out, and it does, we need to understand what farmers understand, the laws of sowing and reaping. Here are 3 laws of sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow. That's pretty simple. According to the seed that you sow, you get a crop back. Galatians 6, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. The word mocked there is the word mukterizo. It means to throw your nose up at God. Don't be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that will he also reap. For he who sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption, but he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. So a common deception is I can get a good result through bad seed. I can say a bad word and get a good result. You idiot, you jerk, you moron, stupid, cursing, being unkind, threatening divorce, threatening adultery, a threat, a bad word, and I'm going to say this bad word and it's going to bring a good result. And I see people, I've counseled Christians for 36 years, and these sweet people that, they're sweet, they go to church, carry their Bibles, they're just sweet, precious people, but when they get in a fight, they cuss like satyrs. And I've had them come into my office and, tell me their fights and tell me what they said to each other and all that. And I love them to death, but they hurt each other. But in 36 years of counseling, here's what I've never heard. I've never heard a couple come into counseling and one of them say, Pastor Jimmy, well, my spouse and I got in a fight the other night and they cussed me up one side and down the other. They called me every name in the book, and boy, it helped. Right in the middle of them just going into a tirade and cussing me out, a light came on and I just thought, they're right. And I'm just so glad I've got a spouse that will tell me the truth. I've never heard that, but here's the word I've heard over and over: devastate. Devastate. When I repented to Karen, because I was a horrible husband, when I repented to Karen, she said, the worst thing you've ever done is what you said to me, Jimmy. It was. The power of life and death is in my tongue, is in your tongue. And if you understand it, you can have a wonderful life. If you don't understand it, life is going to be tough. My life was tough. The second deception is I would say something positive, but it wouldn't make any difference. It's impossible. Don't be deceived. If you believe that saying a good word wouldn't help, you're deceived. Every good seed brings a good result. Words of love, words of kindness, words of truth, words of compassion, words of understanding, words of encouragement. A good word will bring a good result. The devil will say, don't even talk to them. Don't even say anything nice to them. You just be mean. That'll bring a good result. That's deception. Bad words reap what you sow. That's the first law of sowing and reaping. Let me talk about men for just a minute, because we're told as men to be Christ-like husbands. And Ephesians 5 tells us to love our wives as Christ loved the church. Here's what it says: that he might sanctify and cleanse her with the washing of water with the word, that he might present her to himself a glorious church. Do you know why Jesus washes us with his word? Because he wants a good bride. Did you know if you'll speak good words to your wife, she'll be the bride you want her to be? Women are 3 times more verbal than men. Some are even more than that. So, I'm not going to make eye contact for this minute. So, women need words. They need a lot of words. I used to come home from work and Karen would, where'd you go? What'd you do? Who'd you see? And I thought, she is so nosy. And I'm not going to feed that monster. Men talk for communication, for information. Women talk to connect. And they don't just want your words, they want your heart. Karen was always trying to, how did you feel about that? And I thought, I didn't feel anything. The arrow went through my heart, I never felt a thing. How'd you feel? How'd you feel? So one day, I said to Karen, I'm going to come home. We're going to put the kids to bed. And we had a little sitting area in our bedroom. And I said, we're going to go in the bedroom, sit down, no distractions. And I'm going to talk to you for as long as you want to talk. First time I'd ever done that. And I thought 2 things. A, I'm the greatest husband in the history of the world. And B, they're going to find me tomorrow dead with my brain sucked out. The sister is going to suck my brain out my ear. Let me say this. When I began to talk from my heart, patiently with Karen, it transformed our marriage. Every area of our marriage was transformed. If I would have ever known that talking to her patiently and lovingly would do that, I'd have done it long before.